I inquired about having the Nissan installation dash cam and rear cam fitted, and when I looked at it, it was similar to this Kenwood system, although it's the A601 I think, and it looks slightly bulkier. In the end I purchased this bundle and fitted it myself. I also bought the Hardwire kit so I could use it with parking sensors as well as driving mode. I'm very pleased with the whole setup, and I've just put a short video together just to show how I went about the installation with reference to other people's notes and videos. Because my car's got the sunroof, it made it a little bit more difficult to get through the roof lining, but I'll try to explain how I did that. First thing I did was to remove the door seal from the front passenger door, then the plastic cover which pops off on the side pillar. Be careful, there's an airbag behind here. I also dropped down the cover over the rear view mirror. The camera I mounted to the passenger side of the rear view mirror and in position where the wipers clean the screen. This panel is easily removed to get access to the fuse box. You need to open the glove box and release it by squeezing the plastic hinges inwards. I found these fuses. The first one gives me a permanent 12 volt for the parking sensors, and the other one is a switched one for normal driving. The wiring kit comes with various fuse adapters for different makes, and I chose the correct one for the Nissan. I drilled a hole to locate the self-tapping screw for the earth. I was now able to connect all three wires to test the camera. The original 10 amp fuses fit in the adapters next to the dash cam fuses. It's easy to push the dash cam cable in behind the headliner along the windscreen and then feed it down behind the airbag and then secure them to the original wiring harness with cable ties. The plastic trim can now be fitted back on the pillar, which just pops into place. I coiled up all the surplus cable and cable tied it into place to keep it tidy. Then I replaced the plastic panel on the side. To remove these handles, you have to slide this plastic block up, and there's a small little clip there to release. When those are both removed, then this handle will just slide right out. But then you'll find there are two metal clips underneath here, and as I discovered, you have to use like pliers, pinch them together or maneuver them until you can pull those clips right out, because you will not be able to get the handle back in with the clips still in there. So you take the clips right out, and then you put the clips, slide them back into the plastic unit, refit these pieces here with the handle out. Once you've done that, then the whole thing can be pushed back in, and the metal clips have got two little retaining tabs. So when you push hard up against each side, it'll click in, so the metal's seating behind. And that's how I discovered you need to get these back in. It was a bit of a struggle. But anyway, with the two handles removed, it makes passing the cable through the side lining much easier when you've got a sunroof. This inspection cover can be easily removed in the rear door. I also removed the side panel in the luggage compartment. Feed the cable through the channel in the rear door until it comes out where the rubber grommet pushes in. You can then pass it through the grommet with a bit of silicone spray to ease it through. It's advisable to leave a bit of slack when you feed it through the door to allow for opening. I was then able to refit the top of the grommet into place. Now feed the cable down through into the side panel where you've removed the plastic cover to gain access. You can now refit the other end of the grommet into the bodywork. I used a Dremel to make a little clearance for the cable to come through. I also made a notch in the inspection panel to pass the cable through. With the rear camera now stuck in place, I removed the protective film. These 3 plastic clips had to be removed to drop the headliner down, and I'm now replacing them. I was now able to refit the trim around the back door, which just pushes on and covers over the head lining. I attached the end of the cable with insulation tape to a piece of plastic conduit to make it stiff enough to push through. Again, be careful not to interfere with the airbags. The cable will go behind those when it's fitted. The cable to the rear camera is in 2 sections, and I plugged the front section into the port in the front camera. This cable is also fed behind the head lining as we did with the front camera, and then it can be pulled out through the side. I had some 10mm flexible ducting handy, which I managed to feed around the back of the centre pillar. This made it easier to feed the front section of the cable around the pillar. And then plug the cable into the rear section. I removed the conduit once the cable was through. Make sure the cable is pushed well back behind the airbags. I looped up the excess cable and cable tied it into a convenient space behind the side panel. I was now ready to test both cameras before refitting the trims and tidying everything up. Thanks to everyone else who posted notes on how to install it, and I hope you found this useful. It seems to be all working fine now in park mode and in normal driving mode.